And when I saw that in real time, Andy, I thought it's a clear foul. Gibbs White thrown to the ground by Nick O'Reilly.
Yep.
When I watched it back, they got hold of each other. I think almost Morgan Gibbs White
initiates the
contact. And I think when Sean Dyche has cooled off and looked at himself, he'll think the same thing.
I agree. I think, I get what Morgan Gibbs White is doing. He's backed into Nico O'Reilly there. He's pinned him a little bit because he knows, Nick O'Reilly is the wrong side, and he's sort of trying to pin him. He has initiated that contact. Yep. Then all of a sudden he hits the floor. It's not one that I think Sean, when he reflects on it, will want to dwell on too much, because I think Gibbs White was looking for it there.
By the way, Forest played really well. Really well. They should be really encouraged by the way they played. And I think Diaz, everybody would accept it, probably should have been a red card. But, they complained to the PGM Ireland want the audio release. What's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Sure
they did the same in the Everton game over James Tarkowski earlier in the season.
Yep.
I don't think it achieves anything.
No. Do you know, Jeff, talking about decisions, I just mentioned there about Ian Maatson start the second half at Stamford Bridge. I think it was still 1-0. Pretty sure it was.
Chelsea was still in front.
Still one up, Jeff, weren't they? And start the second half, there was a ball switch from Chelsea's left to the far post. Ian Maatson obviously has got his eyes on Pedro Neto, trying to keep an eye. He's got his arms out. It hits his arm. The ball has travelled 45 yards from the other side of the field, and I could hear the VAR guys in my cans in the earphones saying, "No, his arms were in a natural position." It's like the ball's travelled 45.
Yeah, and his arm was outstretched at his side. There was no doubt.
I thought that was an absolute stick-on penalty.
Yeah,
I really did, and yet they're seeing something very different.
Oh, well, hello, this is VAR.
Yeah.
They see things that are totally different to the ordinary fan. And I still question, I mentioned it yesterday, I still question the need to look at every single goal that is scored. If a goal is scored and there's no protest and it looks absolutely clear-cut, get on with it.
Get on with it.
Let's not have VAR examining minutely to try and find a way to prevent goals.
Well, and the biggest indicator of that, Jeff, is that players are reluctant now to run away and celebrate what is actually the reason why we're all there, to see goals and to see great moments and to see players absolutely, enjoying it with their fans when they've scored a goal. They're reluctant to run off now and celebrate until they're looking over all the shoulders, looking at the bench, looking at this, looking at that, waiting for someone to tell them the goal's okay. And that's something fundamentally wrong there with that.
Yeah,
I think.
Antoine Semenyo, good player. Release clause at Bournemouth. Looks certain that he's going to move on. And on all the talk, his representatives were apparently in Manchester seeing City officials yesterday. Not sure that necessarily means that the deal is done. But Man United, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, they've all expressed an interest as well. Would City be the right club for him?
I would have thought, out of all of those, if I was Antoine Semenyo, I'd have gone Liverpool.
Yeah, me too.
I think they've got some good younger players now, the Ekatikes and the Gakpos and these boys in those forward positions. I think he would add to that. Obviously, Mo Salah's time, whether it's this season, next, whatever, is coming to that's in its last phase. So I would have thought going there would have suited him a bit better. And also, the problem for City right now is if you go there and Pep goes, well, then you're never quite sure. We have seen it before when a manager leaves and things are tough for a few years. You've only got to look at United. So, look, it's clearly that's the club he's got his heart set on. It's hardly a bad call going to Manchester City, is it? But I would have thought that maybe Liverpool might have suited. When I watch him play Semenyo as well, the type of player that he is, I think he might have suited Liverpool as well very well. Yeah. City sometimes they get bogged down a little bit on the edge of the opposing 18-yard box, and they get stuck. And you've got to really be ultra sharp and clever with shorter passes. Semenyo looks like one of those boys who wants to run and is very good at that when he's running at people from distance. Maybe Liverpool, when they're at their best, kind of might suit him a bit better.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we don't know Pep Guardiola's future plans, but I totally get the appeal to play under Pep.
Good shout.
I mean, master manager, they don't come any better at all. But he's often brought in wide players, and then they don't play. Doku's been terrific. Semenyo.
Correct.
Doesn't really get starts at the moment, does he? Oscar Bob, who was going to be the next big thing, doesn't get starts, might be on his way out of the club. And I'd be a bit concerned about that if it was Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah, I think there's something in that. Maybe Semenyo having, it's different. Savinho and they come in from distant shores and from other teams, and sometimes find it difficult to get that regular game. I would think Semenyo coming in, if he comes in for 60 million, I think Pep will be expecting him to pick it up pretty quickly and get in there and get amongst it. And I think that's what any new signing wants to do, Jeff. It drives me mad when I see new signings coming in and people saying, oh, he doesn't quite understand it yet, and he hasn't quite got understanding exactly what we're trying to do. Hold on a minute. Just Semenyo, that's not a problem for him. Put him in there and let him get on with it. I think he's a really, really exciting player. And he'd be a welcome addition at City if he can find his form.
And look, if he's got the self-belief that he can go there and play on a regular basis, then good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Definitely.
Up next, we'll speak live to the World Darts Championship contender Justin Hudd, who, listen to this, packed up his job as a hotel porter to chase the dream of Ali Pali glory.